Hey guys, it's Lauren. If you need help with any writing tips or help refilling your creative well, you come to the right place, as I am a blind author. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the fearless writing tag, which is all over YouTube, but I first saw it on Colin Clark's channel, which I'll leave a link to in the description down below. So, first question is lies. What is the biggest fallacy you're telling yourself with writing or being a writer? I think the biggest thing that I struggle with is self-confidence. So the lie I'm telling myself is that nobody will want to read my work or that my work isn't good enough. And I feel like it's a lie I tell myself just because I haven't gotten myself out there enough for enough people to read my work. And the other thing is putting more work or different types of things out there. And the next question is, starting new, does the first draft scare you or motivate you? I think for me, it definitely motivates me. I actually have the problem of coming up with new ideas and not pursuing them. It's like, oh, shiny new idea. A new idea, a new idea. All right, you came up with 3 new ideas in the last hour and didn't actually start to draft. But then I feel like as being a pantser that I'm really good with coming up with the idea and starting a draft and maybe getting to the middle, but then like past the middle and the end is where I get stuck.
Or, hey Nicole, here's an idea for a story. What can you do with it?
Well, that's the cool thing about having a co-author or having somebody to bounce ideas off of. They can help you with fleshing out your idea even better. Roadblock. What's your number one obstacle stopping you from writing? I feel like it kind of ties into one of my answers from the earlier questions of having that self-doubt and the little devil on your shoulder saying you can't do it. But I think the other thing is procrastination, or finding like that muse to inspire you to write. Because there will be a lot of times where I'll just stare at it and nothing will come to me. And I'm like, I'll go work on something else, and then I feel like that's when the shiny idea is right. I'm like, no, work on what you're working on. I mean, definitely like take note of the idea that occurred to you so you don't lose it. But then like try to refocus back on the project you're working on. The next question is reflection. How can you overcome the obstacle? I think there are a couple of different ways that you can tackle writer's block and procrastination. For some people, the writing sprints on YouTube seem to help. Or with me and Sam's channel, we both had writing prompts. They sometimes can help you, think of a new idea. It's like, oh, a new idea. But then sometimes those can also help you think outside the box. And sometimes that might be what's, stopping you from working on your current project, is overthinking it or overanalyzing what scenes you're trying to write next instead of just going headfirst into it and just writing what comes to you. The next question is perfection. How are you challenging yourself to get past the procrastination trap? So one idea that I started using to help with perfectionism is finding beta readers or a critique group. And Barrett Lurie has a monthly video on YouTube called the Critique Group Live, where you can have your work in progress or a piece of fiction critiqued by the group, and I think that definitely helps give you some type of direction on where to go with the piece that you're stuck with. And that way it kind of prevents you, again, from overanalyzing it and second guessing where you're taking the story. The next question is, failure sucks. How can you grow from a failure? And the most important thing is to surround yourself with encouraging people that will help lift you up and encourage you to keep writing. Because I think the biggest thing with failure is that it kind of makes you second guess yourself and sometimes it can lead to imposter syndrome, where you guess whether or not you actually are a writer and if you should continue writing. I think that's a theme that I see a lot, that I see occur a lot in the writing community, is that people second guess themselves when either other people don't like what they're putting out or that they're having a hard time connecting an audience to their writing. Next question is, rejection sucks too. How can you grow or learn from rejection? I guess the biggest thing is to learn from rejection is to take a step back and see if there's a reason why that piece didn't fit where you were trying to submit it to. I know, for example, for some of the things that I've tried to submit, sometimes it just wasn't the right genre, or the person that was running the publication thought less of me as a writer because of my disability. And yes, there was a period where I took it to heart and I just wanted to stop writing. But I think you have to reflect and think, okay, it wasn't a match that time. Maybe it will be a match the next time. And I think Barrett covered it on one of his theories for querying, is that you have to submit to more than just one thing. But at the end of the day, you have to be happy with, the work that you're putting out there. And if there's a red flag that comes up that makes you question whether or not it's a good fit or whether or not you should submit that piece, then maybe you shouldn't do it. You have to follow your heart and go with your gut on so many things. Because if you just do what others want and try to make other people happy, at the end of the day, you're going to learn to regret that decision. So the next question is create action. How do you keep moving towards your goals? I think the biggest thing is to take risk and try to write outside of your comfort zone. I always like this question when it comes up in a lot of writing tags or questionnaires of what's the genre that you wouldn't consider writing or that you haven't written yet. And I think when you follow that line of thinking, that it can help you push yourself in a new direction that you hadn't considered before. I know for myself, the one genre that I want to try that is different from what I write is children's fiction, because I tend to usually write YA or young adult, and I think writing children's books has a different mindset than writing young adult. Next question is, new year, new outlook. If fear wasn't holding you back, what would you be doing right now to further your writing dreams? I guess one thing that comes to mind for something that I haven't experienced yet is attending a writing convention or a writing conference and networking with other writers. I know there hasn't been a lot due to COVID that have been in person, but I feel even before COVID, there wasn't that many in Baltimore, where I'm from. So I think I would mean having to travel outside of my state and attending a bigger writing conference, which would be fun to travel and meet other writers. I think that's the important thing to take away, is the fear of meeting other authors and trying not to compare yourself to them. Because I feel like sometimes we see this person published 3 books in a year and I haven't even written one. And you kind of compare yourself and think that they're better than you. But I think people have different speeds and styles in which they write, and I don't think it makes it better than yourself. It's just different. And the last question is a leap of faith. What is one thing you plan to do this year, even though it scares you? For this question, it took me a while to think of it, because I think in the moment of creating the idea, when the idea came to mind, it didn't scare me, but I think the idea of it failing scared me, and it's putting together a Authortube writing anthology and getting it out there through self-publishing. I have tried getting people to contribute to an anthology before, and it didn't really go anywhere. But it seems like this time around, I don't know if it's because, I've networked with other people on Authortube, or that the theme is fantasy and it's more of a broader genre to write about. But it seems like people are excited that people want to contribute. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm still scared that when it gets closer to the deadline, I'm not going to have enough people step up and actually want to say, like, alright, I wrote a piece, here you go. So I hope you guys found this video entertaining. Some of the questions were challenging more than others, but I like where the questions made me think of and the direction my mind went. It's good to note that none of the questions actually led to a negative mentality. It just made a deeper frame of mind, thinking like where I started when I started YouTube and where I am now. And I will leave links to the original video because the YouTuber that created the tag is no longer on YouTube. But like I said, there's been a bunch of other YouTubers that have done the tag as well. So as always, try to do something creative today, and until next video, you guys are done. Bye!